Good evening.
Everywhere I go on this island, it seems to me I find degeneracy.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. See, it's a lot scarier when there's no motive, Sid.
We have a bargain.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Do you feel the pain? What is the pain I can assure you will be exquisite.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
His entire work consists of violence, all the time, obsessed with the issue of violence. Mayhem, gouging out of eyes, autopsies on the stage.
Come. It is time to keep your appointment.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 112 of Double Feature Horror Show. I hope you'll find this evening, as I said in the chat, wir sind jetzt live los, Jungs. I'm not going to get a chance to say it in the rest of the episode. I thought I'd drop it in the chat early to announce it. I hope you're all well. We have a short TV movie to cover tonight, something of a cult favourite, and I can see why. When I announced this, I gave you a choice last week. Did you want Trilogy of Terror, which is kind of an end of an era thing, or would you prefer to jump straight into the next phase of horror anthologies and cover Creepshow? And you impressed me. You caught me out. I was absolutely not expecting people to vote for Trilogy of Terror, and not only vote for it, but comfortably get it a lead. But I'm starting to understand it now. When I announced it, the response was very positive. I think people are very fond of this, and there's some merit to that. I see people are in. Hey, the Alabastard. Hey, Marina. Good to see you. Hi, Mima. Maverick. Good to see you. Dr. Prepper as well. Hi, Slim. I hope you managed your homework. This is all over YouTube and other places of the internet. Obviously, loads of places where you can get a legal copy of this. Before we cover it, though, we are going to enjoy some games, some old-fashioned games. I thought it's been a while, and it's a short film. I want to give you your money's worth. So we'll have a topic in here. We're going to play some games before we discuss Trilogy of Terror. But I can't just sit on stream and play with myself. This isn't Twitch. I've got some guests. Welcome back to the stream, Murgoot.
Hello.
You saved me from some dead air there, man.
Bloody mute button. Always.
I know.
Oh, thank you for having me back. This is a fun little movie.
Absolute pleasure. You know, we're back on the horror anthologies, and I think, yeah. I kind of like the vibe of you in when we're doing the horror anthologies. Like we're building up a bit of we're almost like running through a course, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
we're veterans now.
Short stories the right way.
Absolutely. I think though you haven't played any of the games yet, though, have you?
No, not that I know of.
All right. Well, we've got a selection, so it should be fun. Some favorites and some new ones. Before we go any further, oh gosh, we got to go to my regular and invaluable co-host, TCG. Who's that girl? Na 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 na. TCG's that girl.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Ladies, holler if you hear me.
Excellent.
Good evening, chat. Good evening, those watching the replay. Good evening, Horror Show, and good evening, Murgoots. Can I just say, your intro for yourself about the Twitch gaming thing, utterly abhorrent. I am absolutely here for it, though.
Oh, lovely. Good. Yes. This is a family-friendly stream, you know, of course, so we keep it light.
No hot tubs involved.
No. Oh gosh. Are they? What's a new thing though? I remember when the hot tub was a thing. Do they have a new thing now on Twitch? What are they doing?
I think they've all buggered off to kick, haven't they?
Have they? Oh, okay. I saw
Yeah,
people
I think
talking about
I saw on Twitter the other day that they had Amaranth showering apparently with friends over on Kick.
Does she have mobility issues? Is that's what that's about, right?
Well, it was like a walk-in shower room from the images. And fun little fact: when we first moved into our house, we had one of those, and we had to have it for 18 months before we could get it sorted out, because apparently the council were like, well, we paid for it and we want to get our money's worth out of it, so you're just going to have to suffer. So I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
You know, in fairness, all showers are walk-in showers if you're well armed, but that's a side issue.
True.
We're meant to have Trig. I think something's gone on, but don't worry. If Trig drops in, we'll be super happy to have him. But otherwise, I think we got a good number of folks in. I'll also say hi, Crow Minion. Good to see you. Hi, John, and hi, Jess. We will get into things, I think, rather than hold up. So, folks, if you've never seen it before, once in a while, we play a few games. Some people say it's a good idea. Other opinions are available. But we will just launch now. So we'll start off with the favourite, aka the only one we've ever done. Play Your Stars Right. And we even made this for it.
It's Play Your Stars Right with your host, Proper Horror Show.
Oh, I love it. I should get that in there. Crikey.
I didn't want to laugh, but that Theresa May bit always gets me.
Oh, if I had time, next time we do it, I will complete the edit I was working on. It was Theresa being bumped off by Boris, being bumped off by Truss, being bumped off by Rishi with the old laser eyes.
Brilliant. Need to get a little round of applause bit towards the end. I think if you're
Yes.
gonna twinkle with it, tinker with it.
Yeah, I think I'll start it when Truss comes on. I think the clap will go well with her, from what I've heard. I've got the game rules up in case people haven't played this before. So very simple. I think Mergit, you haven't played it before. So the rules very simple. I have not taken off the first stars there. So we're just going to go. It's fine. It doesn't ruin anything. We're just going to see if we are in touch with the common critic. We are going to look through a star's filmography, starting with something that was reviewed around 50%, and we're going to see if we know better than critics, or rather if we are aligned. Can we get inside the head of a critic? All good? Pretty simple. We just take the Rotten Tomato scores and rock on, really. I think for the second one, I went with the audience scores just to mix it up a bit. So it's pretty simple. And as we have a spare one, maybe chat can have a go. I don't know. See how we go with that. TCG, would you like to go first, just to show Mergoot the ropes?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right, fantastic. I will switch out of the game rules ones. All right, and we are on Play Your Stars Right. Okay, guys. James McAvoy, to your great surprise. You familiar with Mr. McAvoy's work?
Mostly through, I think, the X-Men films, and also the Split, Glass. Yeah.
Okay, good. So pretty familiar with the caliber of stuff. How about with the one I've started with, rated 55% by critics, Romeo and Juliet?
I feel like... No, I know this film, but it's from I think his name's Danny Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I think my boy watches him on YouTube, and he did a review of this film, I'm pretty sure, because there are a hell of a lot of gnome puns in this film, and I think at one point they break out some Elton John song, and it's a gnome doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Danny Gonzalez, that's his name. Danny Gonzalez. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that is correct, but how about Victor Frankenstein? Do you think critics thought Victor Frankenstein with little Danny Radcliffe there was better or worse than Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, okay, right.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know what? I feel like this is a curveball. I'm gonna say lower. I don't think I'm right though.
Ooh. All right. The bet is lower. It is correct. They did not like it. They really did not like it. And to be fair, I can understand it. I hated that film. But it's a weird one. It's a weird one. But you've done well. You've escaped the first curve. What about James McAvoy in Filth, adapted from an Irvine Welsh novel, starring quite a few well-known British actors? Kate Dickey's in it.
Okay, I'm going to say higher for this one.
Yes.
Okay.
A fairly safe bet.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel?
Oh,
first
okay.
Is with him as a strangely ripped Mr. Tumnus. Very subversive, some would say.
Okay, this is dangerous territory now because we're 66%. That's like the equivalent of getting like a 7 in Play Your Cards Right. You know what?
Jess Franco thinks higher.
I'm gonna say higher purely because it's Disney, and I think Disney would have bought reviews.
Ooh, we're getting meta. We're getting meta.
Yeah.
Are you impeaching the good name of Rotten Tomatoes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Correct.
There you go. See, I know one.
A very strong one. A very strong one.
It might be a good film. I don't know, but I mean, it's Disney, so no doubt they would have. Okay, straight away, I'm going to say lower.
Lower.
I'm going to go with X-Men reboots. Yeah, it's going to be lower. Is that X-Men? Sorry, is that X-Men Last Stand?
No, I thought that might be too easy, so I went. That's X-Men First Class.
Okay, I'm still going to say lower.
All right. Confident?
Not so much now, but we'll see. No!
Absolutely curveballed.
Wow.
They really they really liked it.
Wow.
I think it was Michael Ironside's cameo as a naval commander that did it personally.
I need to catch up on my X-Men films.
Yeah. So, all right. But we're in Prestige McAvoy right now. We're in him going for gold. The next one is him in Last King of Scotland, featuring Gillian Anderson and Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, I want to say
brilliant film.
It's so good, actually. I need to rewatch. I saw about 4 times years ago. But so long. Right, higher?
I'm going to go higher. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the front cover. Again, I've not seen the film, but it looks
meta.
It looks like a solid cast.
It's really good. All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, yes. Hang on. Just Ed. I'm trying to remember. That's how I did it. Yes, just over.
Okay.
Jess Franco with a very good record so far at guessing this. How are we doing? Chat? Are you playing along at home? Are you guessing? How do you feel Atonement went? It's got Keira Knightley. It's got an actress whose name I'm trying not to pronounce. I want to say Saoirse Ronan. McAvoy is your lead chap in it. It also has a very sneaky cameo from Benedict Cumberbatch as a dirty, rotten scoundrel who likes the Phillies.
I'm gonna say lower, but I don't think it'll be that much lower.
Dun, dun, dun. You are correct. 83% from the critics for Atonement. Personally, I think getting absolutely robbed. I adore that film.
Right.
Okay. So the final McAvoy. Because I thought I should be on brand. How do you think they felt about It Chapters 2.
Oh
On
yeah,
the
I forgot he was
downside-
in that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say lower. I feel like the first one was rated better.
It's got a gay romance in it. It's got 2 gay romances. Only one ends in a beating.
I mean, they do have the Lugataper icon in Pennywise. And that's not me saying it, that's the media.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you make of that what you will, but yeah, anyway, I'm going to say lower.
All right. Do you want to guess if you were going to guess?
I'm going to say I'm going to say 69%.
Nice.
Oh,
You were within the decile. I count that as good. Yep, 62%. You know, not trounced, but
audience seem to like it better though.
yeah, that confuses me. The difference in quality between 2 and 1, I find quite stark. But
Right.
There we go. All right, Mergu, how about yourself? Are you feeling ready to do some analysis on the career of Lawrence Fishburne?
Oh, wow. Okay. Certainly.
Starting with Man of Steel, rated 56%.
Okay.
But compared to Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
God, that thing stunk.
There's a thing I love about sequels where they don't know what to do and they're just like, bugger it, send them around Europe. It's surprising how many films do that. Pitch Perfect 2. I'm looking at you. All right. You were going for lower on this one? All right, here we go. Yeah, they were not fans. They were not fans at all. All right. However, how do you think they felt about A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, where he's credited as Larry Fishburne?
My favorite of The Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's going to be slightly higher. Not by much, because, well, it's a horror film and the audience score is going to be a lot higher, but I think the critics are going to put it slightly higher, like 39 or 40.
So you're looking at the quality, but you're also in the mind of the critic.
Trying to be.
All right. It worked.
Wow.
A very impressive 71, I think, that, well earned.
Well, number 3 was entirely enjoyable just because of, 1, the puns were great, and 2, the soundtrack was incredible. Dawkins was at the height of their game when they did the soundtrack.
All right. What about Mystic River?
Higher.
Is that Clint Eastwood directorial one? Oh, apparently he was also Lawrence Fishburne was also credited as Larry in Apocalypse Now. Thank you, Cro-Minion. Did not know. All right. So, sorry, Mystic River, you going for higher?
Much higher. Critics loved the movie.
In fairness, yes. Yeah, a very safe bet. All right. How about a big one, but not prestige? Mission Impossible 3. Is this the only one he was in? Can't remember.
I don't remember. I know earlier ones it was Ving Rhames, but
yeah, Ving Rhames got to come in a few times.
Yeah, he's been. I think the only one he hasn't been in, if memory serves me, is. No, I think he's been in all of them, hasn't he? I know in the most recent one they brought back Kittredge, and I'm absolutely there for it.
Oh, help me out. Who's that?
He was in the first one.
Oh, nice. The first one.
Yeah,
I love the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say lower, slightly lower.
Slightly lower. Okay. Yes. This is a bit easy. This is maybe a bit easier to guess. Get in the mind of the critic, and remember, the critic is only 1 or 2 steps removed from the journo in taxonomy terms. How do you think they felt about Boys in the Hood?
Brilliant film. Higher.
Don't just rate the boys, though. You've got to factor in the hood too.
Yeah. Brilliant film. Higher.
All right, cool. Yes, very safe bet.
Jesus.
In fairness, it's a good film. All right. Now a challenge. Apocalypse Now. The aforementioned by Cro-Minion Apocalypse Now. How did critics feel about that? Better than Boys in the Hood or worse than Boys in the Hood?
Slightly lower. And if you get a chance, watch Apocalypse Now redo.
Agreed.
That's however you say it.
If you're gonna, it's like Lord of the Rings. If you're going in, go for the whole thing.
Or Das Boot.
Oh, yes. All right, here we go. Yes. Hang on. Yes, slightly lower. Just slightly. Well done. So 3 hours 15. I forget how. Anyway. Well done. Nice. Chat, if you fancy it, we have another one. If you want to have a go, chat.
Go on, chat. Go on.
Should we try it?
Yeah.
All right, chat.
Mergut and I can confer as well, I suppose.
All right, you guys confer and get me the basic idea of what chat's opinion is. I hope you're ready, chat. Here we go. You're going to call on your deep knowledge of Jennifer Connelly. I can't call her Colony every time. Gosh darn it. I've got one where she starts on 50% exactly. Waking the Dead. But did critics prefer the American remake of J-horror Dark Water from Hideo Nakata, creator of Ring? Did they prefer Jennifer Connelly's version?
I feel like they would, you know. When was it released?
Oh,
was it around about the time where you had your Rings, your
The Grudge?
It was middle of that cycle, I believe.
Right.
Let me have a look on that. It's 2005. It was.
So like smack bang in the middle, then, or just a little bit after.
Yeah. Hey, Not Moriarty, good to see you. We are playing a game of Play Your Stars Right. You will pick up on the rules. I'm waiting to see chat's guess. For this, I'll probably go with the first one from chat. Let's see, a little bit higher. I'm going to go with Jess Franco's guess. Prepper's in as well. Higher. Let's go. Oh, guys, gotta remember they hate horror. Even a film called Dark Water where Jennifer Connelly is going to be in wet clothes. No, critics cannot be persuaded. It's brutal. But how did they feel about Hulk? Do you think Hulk did any better? I think.
Right.
When was Hulk made, actually?
This 2003, I think it was. If you're talking about the Eric Bana.
It. Yeah.
Eric Bana. Okay, so we need to be careful here because there's the Incredible Hulk, which came out, I think, in 2008 or 2009. That wasn't too bad. Whereas this one was a bit of an S-storm.
Much forgotten. It's only General Ross who sticks around, right?
That's right, yeah. No, I don't think he's in this one. No, I think you're thinking of. You're thinking of.
Norton's in the next.
I think you're thinking of that one because General Ross is. Oh my God!
The Abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, General Ross ain't not Abomination. He's just General Ross.
That's right.
Split opinion amongst chat there.
Don't think he's actually in. I don't think it's the same character from this one. Although, have you heard that Harrison Ford's going to be playing him now?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, it's only because the guy who played General Ross died. Sam. Oh no. Okay, so Sam Elliott was Thunderbolt Ross in this film.
For a minion, I agree. I mean, I like the Japanese a bit more, but yeah, I thought she did a good job. I had quite a fun choice of Connolly films for this one.
Okay, if I was to hazard a guess, chat, personally, I'd be saying lower, because this was at a time where comic book movies were still finding their feet. We did have success with Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man 2 came out in 2002.
Sounds about right.
But, I mean, there's no such... I mean, Hulk films are very, very difficult to do as standalone films.
True.
For some reason.
Very
They need to
true.
do a Planet. They just need to do a Planet Hulk film, really.
Especially with that old school CGI.
Yeah,
Terrible CGI
yeah.
times.
Oh, yeah.
and the comic book slide transitions.
We've got 1 vote for higher from Normie,
Okay.
2 for lower. Let's go.
What?
Normie the Navi, possibly a critic in disguise. You don't have to out yourself, Normie, but you are indeed correct. Everyone else taking very educated guesses, but for some reason, critics love this.
Jess Franco says Ang Lee directed it. Critic proof. That's evident. Look at that. It's evident.
True. All right. Little Children. I think not massively seen, but I would recommend it. You've got Kate Winslet, you've got Patrick Wilson, Jennifer Connelly, and a lovely starring role from a chap whose name I've forgotten and feel awful about. He played Jackie Earl Haley. There we go. He played Rorschach in Watchmen. And he gets a very challenging role in this that I really liked. I haven't seen it for ages, but I was a fan of this. I'm giving you that context because I think not many people will have seen this one.
I haven't.
It's
I
a
haven't.
pitch for drama, but on the other hand, Hulk is already 63. It is risky topics, let's just say. Divisive topics. What have we got? Have we got any guesses coming in? Maverick is going for higher. Yeah. Cannot possibly come. He's got the Dan Schneider page.
Oh, dude. 99% from the critics. The one person, the one person,
critics and low as all get out for the audience.
the one person who downvoted it was ostracized from the critic community.
All right, we got a better.
How dare he not like Little Children? I hear the critics cry.
Clip it. All right, Maverick's going higher. Dr. Prepper's saying higher. I really should have set the latency low on this one, shouldn't I? It's just my habit. I always set it as normal latency. All right, here we go. I'll take it as a higher bet from you all. Here we go. Yes, I think a pretty well-deserved 80%. I was a fan of this.
Oh, look, the audience was more pervy. I mean, was less critical.
They appreciate Jackie Earl Haley putting in a great performance. All right, and now moving on. Dark City chat. What do you reckon? Dark City. This is a sci-fi. It is one of those films that did The Matrix better than The Matrix. And by
Love
quite
the
a way.
film. Love the director's cut.
It's got to have that director's cut on it. So much good stuff in this. All right.
I'm going to say lower if it was me personally. Because the fact that you said they did the Matrix better than The Matrix makes me think that the critics are going to be like, The Matrix was a masterpiece. Yeah.
Well, this one kind of slid under the radar.
Why do I feel like I've seen this film?
You might maybe you watched
reviewed on the channel.
Yeah. I had a discussion about it with Last Things an Hour on.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Scores coming in. Okay, we've got. I think everyone is going for lower. Crow's gone for lower. Marina has gone for lower. Jess Franco, yes, good film but lower. I think.
Right. Okay. I do you know? I didn't realise it's got bloody Richard O'Brien in it.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Rufus Kiefer Sutherland. Yes.
Sorry, I have to do
Sutherland,
it.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to do it. Will you start the fans, please? Yes. Crystal Maze, what a show.
You love it. You love to see it. Okay. It is a correct guess, chat. Yes. But that's quite appreciative. You know, it's only 4% lower.
Based audience again, though.
Yeah, audience know what's up. Let's do that comparison. Audience have a good quality sniffer on this. And that's 100,000 ratings. Wonderful.
I mean, they certainly got Hulk right, I tell you.
Heck yeah.
The thing is, I'd watch Hulk again, but I know I'm not watching, like, a good film. I'm just watching slop.
Watching it to make fun of it.
Yeah.
You hate watching. Oh, no.
Oh, Marina called the voices.
Oh, come on. Hulk is a get drunk and laugh.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Well, we do have a certain weakness for those here. All right. I think it's the final one, folks. Get your votes in for Blood Diamond. Leo attempts to get an Oscar by doing a worthy issue, crying a lot, and attempting an accent. Jaimon Honso tries to bring the quality up here. And Jennifer Connelly is there, I believe, as a journo.
Did you just try and do a South African accent?
I thought I did a better one than Leo in this.
I see, Chloe. Yeah. It's not...
Right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'll correct this a little bit.
I want the Blood Diamond.
We should probably stop that. I apologise to anyone South African watching our horrific mangling.
Yeah, my name is Elon Musk. I'm South African.
Please get me gift cards.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any votes coming in? Marina knew there would be voices coming in from us, TCG, but didn't think it would be South African. I've been listening to too much of the Antfort, you know, that's where I'm taking
I was going to say, I feel like listening to them now.
Here we go. Oh, it's coming in.
Higher.
Unanimous higher.
Yeah.
Worthy topic. April Ethereal going in higher. I think April has voted twice and has been correct twice. Here we go. Oh, I've got an easy one for you here, guys. 63%, absolutely stabbed in the back. Bad luck, Leo.
That's actually giving me cramp.
That's savage.
The audience score is correct, though, because Blood Diamond was really, really good.
I haven't seen it for so long, but I remember thinking, yes, that's all right. That's all right. It might be interesting to rewatch. Because it's one of those things that I think it's sunk. I mean, when did you last hear anyone talk about Blood Diamond? Yeah.
It's very true.
All right. Final one, chat. How she was in Top Gun Maverick. What do we reckon?
Right. Do you know what? I'm going to say higher, but I know that the critics were begrudgingly rating it high because they wanted it to flop. They wanted it to fail because they didn't want the 80s sort of macho man kind of movie to sort of burst out on the scene and succeed, you know, with every single type of film that we've got coming out at the moment where the message is being portrayed everywhere. Tom Cruise comes out. I haven't even seen this film, but I know for a fact it is an absolute banger. I'm going to say higher, but I know that the critics hated giving it a high score.
Expecting the knife in the back from the critics.
Yeah.
Chat is torn over this one. We've got two lowers. We got a higher. We got another higher. It's looks like higher's taking the lead at the moment. All right.
Okay.
All right, chat. Here we go.
Get it.
Wow.
Look at that audience score. Wow.
You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. I think everyone had a fun time with this one.
I tell you, man, the critics hated giving it a 96. You know it.
You can tell. You can tell. Oh, I think. All right, and that was Play Your Stars, right? I'll be quick with that. I think we can only fit in a tiny bit of one more game because we do want to discuss the film Trilogy of Terror. I miss these games. I haven't done them for a while. I hope you're enjoying them, chat. By the way, chat, did any of you get it completely right on yours? Let me know. We'll give you kudos. We'll give you virtual kudos. So before we'll get in one quick more game before we go. So got you an option. Would you like game 2 or game 3?
Let's go game 3.
That's a good idea, right? There's the
I'll
rules.
go
Oh,
with
sorry.
Prime
There's
Guy.
the rules. Wait, 3, yeah?
3? No, no, my God.
Okay, there we go. Wheel of Fortune. So step number 3, yeah? So
What the? No, right, okay. I'll pretend I haven't seen that. I love that.
yeah, right. So very. Oh no! Hang on. I just realised this won't work.
What? Why not?
Hang on. I'm gonna have to think of another. Okay, I've got a way of doing this. This will not be messed up. I didn't think this through. I had one way of doing it, and then I changed my mind. So I think we're going to be okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try it another way. Right. Oh dear, because I realise it's not live slides. Okay, here we go. You should now be able to see that. How are we doing?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
good. So it's like Wheel of Fortune. I've covered it up. I'll have to delete the squares. You go one at a time, name a letter. I'll give you 3 to start, and then whoever gets it wins. All right?
Okay.
I can't look at chat while I'm doing this, so let's see. So TCG, would you like to go first? This is the name of a horror movie.
Okay, so am I assuming that can we
Give three letters to start with.
Okay, vowels excluded, I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's exclude vowels, sure.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll have an F for Freddy.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's handy. All right. Yep.
I'll have a C for castrate.
Okay.
Family.
Lovely.
And I'll have a D for decapitate.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you ready to solve?
No, I'll pass.
Chat seems to think you should get a vowel as well. So I'm going to give you a vowel.
You're gonna give me a vowel? Okay, I'll have an E for excruciating agony, please.
0 E's.
Oh crap! Okay,
No
yeah,
E's at all.
Okay.
I also have no way of writing. Never mind. We'll fine tune this. This is a debut of this game.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can't solve. I'm afraid. I
right.
yield to my opponent.
All right, Mergoot.
Give me an O.
All right. This might take a while. That is all the O's, I believe. If some poor sod came in expecting discussion of Karen Black's cult work, they're going to be really annoyed by now. We will discuss Trilogy of Terror pretty soon, I assure you. Any guesses?
I pass.
All right,
Prime
TCG.
Guy.
Hang on. Do you? Okay. Do you not get any other letters?
I thought it was you do a bunch to
I
start with,
I
and
see.
it's
Oh,
one
okay.
at a time.
No, that's fine. That's me not understanding. Okay.
I'll mix it up. Tell you what, I'll give Mergoot go for another letter. We'll do 2 at a time.
Okay.
This is all experimental. You've had the O. Would you like to go for another letter?
R.
Yes. That's the only one. This is kind of niche. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm going to see if chat's got this.
Okay, let's see. Oh. No, it's not that. That doesn't fit.
That's what she said.
We.
Well, pass on to TCG.
Okay.
All right, TCG, 2 letters.
I'll have an L for lop off ya bits.
Okay.
And I'll have a S for slice and dice.
No S's.
No S's, okay. Right, I am...
This is very, I know, very niche. Very niche indeed. I thought chat you like some obscure stuff.
I'm going to pass it on, I'm afraid. I feel... Yeah, okay. I'm going to pass it on.
Okay. Mergu, 2 letters.
A.
Yes, there are 2 A's. Oh, no, another one. And
Give me a B.
there are no B's.
Okay.
Do you like to solve?
Can I... Oh, sorry.
Oh. I've got to pass just due to time.
Okay. Over to you, TCG.
I'll go for you for up.
I think that is all of the U's.
Okay.
Chat has got it, and I'm quite impressed with them.
Okay, I've actually moved over to the private chat, so I can't see, so I'm not cheating. So
Sensible,
you can be
sensible.
assured that I'm not cheating. Can I get an N for November?
You can.
Right. Okay. Oh man, I tell you what, Tolkien wound. No. Oh my god, I'm gonna kick myself so freaking hard.
It's an obscure one. Do not worry.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm gonna pass.
All right. Mergut, over to you.
W.
Of course it will.
It is not W.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Would you like to solve? Shall I give you this?
Oh no. Sorry.
Would you like me to give you the solution for this one, and we go to something a bit more? Everyone has seen it.
Sure.
All right.
Can I just quickly have a go? It's something. I think it's something Hound of Dracula.
Yes. This is a name. So
Okay.
the first word is a name. It was Zoltan, Hound of Dracula, and I believe that Enriad was the first to get it.
Oh, well done. I was gonna say I was thinking Wolf and Hound or something like that, and then
Yeah.
I realised there's F's there already. I was like, damn it!
That,
Well done,
that
chat.
That worked borderline smoothly. All
I
right.
think we got
That's
I
one
thought I was
I'm
right.
not familiar with, so...
right. Oh, let's do this again.
All right. Mergu, if you'd like to start, let's have 3 consonants and a vowel. I think that's how it's meant to be done. 3 consonants and a vowel, please.
An O.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. N.
N. Yes.
Mm-hmm. G.
No G's.
Okay. And
Like poor Dre was faced when he also had no wheels.
T, as in torture.
Oh yes. Oh, I like that framing. T as in torture. Yes. That is the only T, I believe. Would you like to solve? While you think about that, chat, how are we liking? How are we liking this?
Just trying to put some background music in.
Oh, we really should have some.
TCG's turn.
All right,
Okay.
passed over to you, TCG.
Right, I'm going to go for H for Hell on Earth.
Absolutely. Those are your H's.
Okay.
And
can I get a... Let's go for an R.
no R's.
No R's, okay. Okay, I think I know the first three words. Is that last? Oh, hang on.
This will be a little more familiar.
Yeah.
So I thought Zoltan was a bit of a hard guess to throw at people. I like. Okay, chat is liking
Yeah.
this. This is
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna.
Maybe we'll keep going a bit longer, chat. I have got more.
No, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass for now.
All right, over to you, Mergu. 2 letters, please.
I, as in incinerate.
All right. No eyes.
Okay. And E, as in eviscerate.
Very nice. I really appreciate the E4 letter 4 thing. This is good. This keeps it on theme. Next time I'll edit it to make it a bit spookier. I ran out of time. I was going to put Rishi Sunak on in this woman's place, but alas. Would you like to solve? See, has chat got it yet? Anyone got it yet, chat? Mercu and TCG are just looking at the private chat, so I'm being asked if I missed an O. No, I didn't miss an O.
Did you miss an I?
Oh gosh darn it, I did. Thank you. Oh, darn it, verdammt. Ich habe es voll vermisst. Danke sehr. Okay, I totally missed that one. Apologies. There is indeed an I. I am a derp.
No, not that.
It's tough doing this live, guys. It is tough.
It's not Leprechaun in the Hood. It's not Cat in the Woods.
Well done. It has been guessed.
I think I might know it.
Keep your eyes on the private chat, folks.
No pressure, Mergu, but I think I might know it.
It's all yours if you want it.
Go on, TCG.
Can I get a D for
Schnur?
dice?
Yes.
Can I get an S for Thera?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'd like to solve.
Oh, let's go for it.
Is it Shadow in the Clouds?
It is indeed. Points,
God.
prizes.
Yes.
You win a washing machine.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, hey. All right.
Hey!
I want to try one little bit
Yeah,
of
go
chaos because chat was into it. All right. We're going to go for you, chat. You've got this one. So, TCG and Mergu, can you tell me what chat wants? Chat,
Okey
this
dokey.
is all yours. And I want 3 consonants and a vowel from you. And you guys tell me what chat has chosen because I can't look at the chat right now.
Right, okay, I'm back in the public chat now. Just waiting for somebody to throw
Oh
in.
yeah, the lag. I always forget the lag.
Yeah, don't worry. So yeah, just to establish, the first person to give us 3 consonants and a vowel, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that'll work.
In the meantime, here's some background music.
Yeah, how do we play music on this? I know if I play some video, I can get it going on. Or should I just get it on my phone?
All right, Horror Show. Okay, so can we get a T for terrorism?
Yes, you can.
And
This might take me a while.
A H for...
Yep.
An S for stop, the pain.
Okay, I'll do the H. I think I got all the H's, and it's an S, yes?
Yep, S for stop, the pain.
Okay.
And then, when you're ready, an A for
Okay. Okay, yes. I believe that's everything.
Okay. And
Just waiting for that information to feed through to chat.
If we go down the queue, I can see Normie has given 3 letters. I'm going to take the first 2 though.
Okay.
He said D, D and G. So
D and G. All right, I'll give you that.
Okay. What about the G? We got a G?
G. I do not have any G's.
Okay, so next up we've got Chrominion. I'll take one of... Oh no, he's already given us a...
All right.
Right,
okay, so chat if you can solve.
We've got R and L.
R and L. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, you definitely have some of that. There's one. There's an L. Is this...
Oh my god! Yeah, come on. I can't. Yes.
I think I've got it all. Has anyone got it yet?
Right. Marina has said W and E.
All right.
Oh, yep. Dr. Prepper's got it. We've got a winner.
Well done. Right.
Dr. Prepper says it's... I still know what you did last summer. Is that right?
Oh, no.
We'll never know.
It is. It's not the smoothest way of doing it. It works, doesn't it? Kind of.
It works.
Hey.
I tell you what, this is a lot smoother than my bloody Golden Ball stream. I tell you.
Oh gosh, I need to find. There we go. Oh, I've lost some of the things I was. Oh, I know where I lost it. There we go. Well, that was some fun games we had. Well done, Dr. Prepper. Yeah, did very well getting that. Normie the Navi was getting in with. I think Normie was close to putting it in. Who else had it? Chat. Who else was on the verge of getting it in?
Be honest.
Right. I'm gonna have a little think about changes we might make to that, but I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Got a bit of a nostalgia trip there. I nearly started calling you bloody. What was his name? Leslie? No, not Leslie. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh my God! It's gone. It's gone. I can't believe it.
Was it Les Dennis? Did he do it for a while?
No, he did. He did Family Fortunes. Oh my God! Who was I?
Was it Barrymore?
No. Oh gosh. Of course, Leslie. Yeah, John Leslie.
John Leslie.
I was going to start calling you Nicky Campbell, and then I was like, nah, John Leslie. Oh mate, I forgot Bradley Walsh was a presenter of that show as well.
Oh crikey!
Graham
That'll
Norton?
be very confusing to non-Brits. I suppose 54 minutes into the stream, we might talk about the top. This is some EFAP level nonsense, isn't it?
Okay, guys, so now we're going to be looking at the comment section from last week's live stream and responding to them.
Thank you for your forbearance, chat. I hope you enjoyed it. We will now proceed with your actually scheduled topic, Trilogy of Terror. All right, folks, leading into it, I will give a little bit of background, then we'll just get into discussing it. So very simply, Trilogy of Terror is the end of an era as I see it. If you've not been catching everything this year, we have been focusing on the history of the horror anthology and its evolution. We've seen some really big changes in the way the stories are delivered, whether they start out just segment, or whether they have a wraparound story and how that wraparound story works. We've looked at the change in where they draw their stories from. So we started off way early with some original stuff, but also a lot of drawing on classic ghost stories. So Edgar Allan Poe, featuring a lot when Roger Corman is making these anthologies with American International Pictures. And we then saw a lot of pulp writers get brought in, guys who worked on weird tales, guys who'd written for the Twilight Zone. I think the Twilight Zone is what brings them into the movie. So Charles Beaumont, Robert Bloch, and now in kind of an end of an era where these are still kind of tame, I think we'll say. They're evolving, but they still are genteel. These are movies of the 70s, even if they're using more up-to-date sources, such as Weird Tales writers. They're quite genteel. So we said not too much blood in them so far, in contrast to a lot of what you could see at the time. So this is sort of the end of an era, and I think it's telling that for this end of an era, we have a TV movie, because this is this style of horror anthology kind of moving off center stage and other types of films moving up. This is just before you get Halloween. This is when Giallo is starting to influence. And this stuff is falling out of fashion a little bit. You know, the trend has gone on here. So I think it's kind of interesting for us to look at this as the last part of one phase of horror anthologies. This was directed by Dan Curtis, a very interesting figure, best known probably for the supernatural, weird soap opera Dark Shadows. Also for Burnt Offerings, also starring Karen Black, who is the lead in this. Oliver Reed was in Burnt Offerings. It's got quite a lot of camp to it. I know it's well loved by a few people who are regular watchers here. But being on TV, it's a shorter product. It's more concise. It's lower budget. And I think Karen Black playing 4 roles in this, the four different leads effectively, is a bit of a sign of how low budget they were. I think that'd probably be fair to say.
No, I think they just didn't want to hire any more women, to be honest.
Once you've got Karen Black, why would you look elsewhere?
We're going to make her work for her 80 cents to the man's dollar. That's what
In
they
fairness,
were thinking. It was the 70s.
Yeah, in fairness, also, Karen Black was extremely hot property at this time. She was an Oscar nominee only 2 years previously, which kind of blows my mind a bit. So she was nominated, in 5 Easy Pieces, which was a Jack Nicholson film. I can't remember who directed that. No, it's not who I thought. It's a guy called Bob Rafaelson. Apologies. I've got it in my head. That was a Corman. So quite interesting. She was on the Oscar train for a while. Nominated but didn't get it, but it was a junior role for her. So she was kind of hot at this time.
Yeah, I have a question. Did she do the deed with Jack Nicholson in that movie?
Almost certainly. I mean, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I'm not gay, but I mean, Jack Nicholson, who would...
Jack Nicholson is Jack Nicholson.
I know, right? Okay, because if she did, then chances are she actually did. Because apparently, rumor has it that Jack Nicholson didn't do the acting method of that.
Pull-out method acting,
yeah.
Huh?
Well, he wasn't for pretending to put it in, shall we say?
Ooh-wee. Many such rumours about this I had not heard. Interesting. Anyway, back on family-friendly matters. Yeah. So Karen Black is all the leads in this.
Sorry.
Quite throwback here. Yeah. I mean, she starts off as a lead in the first story, and I guess once they went with black, they never went back. So,
Oh God.
what? Anyway,
Oh.
we'll also see, and I'll move on to the other guy, because there's kind of everything you know. I've said it, they're all adapted from Richard Matheson stories. Richard Matheson, you will know him probably best. I think he wrote a Button, which became The Box. I want to say he did Terror at 30,000 Feet, but I'll just fact check myself because I'm not. He did Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Also, I Am Legend. And he also wrote a whole load of the Roger Corman anthologies that we talked about earlier, the ones adapting Poe. So this time he's adapting his own material. He wasn't the sole writer. He did have some help on that. But he adapted his own material for the third segment, which is the best known. I actually, even though this is a TV movie, I remember this being popular enough to be a cult film and even be in my local Blockbuster.
Oh, nice.
So that's enough of me yapping for ages. TCG, had you ever heard of Trilogy of Terror before?
No. First watch.
Ooh, interesting. So brand new. Mm-hmm. Did it sort of catch you out in any way? Was it what you were expecting?
Well, I'm trying to think back now. But the first story kind of had very much succubus vibes. Second one was, I could see the I could see the plot twist a mile off. But that third one, oh my God, that was nuts. Yes. I mean, I knew what was going to happen because when she's like, oh, the charm, you have to keep the charm on it and it keeps it all in one place, and oh no, it mysteriously falls over. But I tell you what, they went mental with that little thing. Like, I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, this is mental.
It's got some real Evil Dead 2 energy, hasn't it?
Yeah, I genuinely didn't want it to end.
That's brilliant. Yeah. I loved it because if there was any kind of irony about it, wouldn't work. They just went 110%.
But yeah,
and then it shot some adrenaline in and took another 5 takes of that crazy Zuni doll.
But it genuinely felt like Evil Dead, the Muppets, and Gremlins had a threesome and ended up making that monstrosity.
Brilliant description.
I felt like Jim Henson was going to walk
Evil
in.
Dead and Gremlins.
I'm pretty sure that Jim Henson was her off-screen boyfriend. Is all I'm saying.
I loved the way they did the doll and just shook it back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's how they did the big headless girlfriend effect in Evil Dead 2. It's literally just the puppet on a stick and they're shaking it and moving it around. So, yeah, Sam Raimi must have watched this and thought, that's a good idea. Mergu, how about yourself? Were you familiar with this one?
Oh, yeah, I saw it in the 80s when I was in high school. I saw it a couple times in the 90s, mainly during college drunk movies, and I saw it again yesterday. So everybody, love or hate the movie, everybody loves the Zuni fetish doll. The little doll.
Yeah, well, the Zuni is on the cover and on all the posters. I think they knew exactly what they had with that.
Oh, Cro-Minion, yeah, absolutely. Ash should have broken in through the apartment window with his boomstick and chainsaw and taken out the doll. Yes, that would have been brilliant. There's your plot twist.
Oh, it seems people are fans of it. Chat, let me know if you've seen this for the first time. I was very aware of this, but this is actually the first time I watched it. I'm spoiled for choice with these. I'm so glad I watched it. Your enthusiasm worked me, yeah. And also a very tight 72 minutes long.
Yeah, really short. But then, like you said, it was straight to TV, wasn't it? And I thought, because I didn't realise that at the point. I was kind of like, oh, this is a short, and then you said, oh yeah, it's a straight to TV job, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Perfect breakdown for commercial breaks.
Yeah.
I did find it very interesting that there is just absolutely no framing of it whatsoever. It's just like there's not even a title sequence. And I wondered for this, was it maybe what's the phrase? Not backdoor pilot.
I beg your pardon?
Was this meant to be a new Twilight Zone? Was it meant to be a new feature of adaptations, and they decided we're not going to do it, we're just going to make it a movie, so we get something out of the material? That's what happened with John Carpenter's Body Bags in 1993, I think. They were going to make a series, they couldn't make it work, so they took the material and made it into a movie. But then again, because they cast Karen Black in all the roles, it's like, well, it can't be that. So it just confuses me how there's things like there is no title sequence and there's no wraparound. And I was just trying to think, why is it like that?
Well, Karen Black was only cast because she did it as a favor for her husband, Robert Burton, so he could get the starring lead in the first segment. And they
yes,
they
as
put her in
Chad.
all three.
Oh wait, that's her partner?
Yeah,
It was
It's
her husband until they divorced shortly after they released Trilogy of Terror.
Oh, I'm not surprised. He drugged her, and he Jack Nicholson'd her.
Yeah. Yes, Crow Minion. That's the version of Top Gun that they're updating for modern audiences. Apologies for that, folks. We are a family-friendly stream.
I'm going to challenge Marina on something. She says that voice of Zuni was Walker Edmiston. He was uncredited for the role. My question: how do you know?
These things get picked up by the internet, TCG.
But how did they know?
Jack Black is uncredited in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
So IMDb credited him, Mergus.
Yes.
Then he was credited eventually.
Not credited in the film, but yes.
Not credited enough.
Yeah. I was looking at what Robert Burton had done, and I couldn't see much from him. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page. And I've just not connected it to being one of her husbands. She had a few of them.
He did a lot of soap operas, including primetime soap operas, and then he retired. Published a book on 7 best ways of getting a job, basically, and then he went into real estate and made a fortune in real estate.
Goodness. Oh, there's 2 other people we should talk about here. I forgot to say, so William F. Nolan, who was the other writer on this, is actually the majority writer on this. He did 2 of the adaptations. Interesting guy. We should mention him because he wrote Logan's Run, and also had lots of work adapting TV stuff that we will be familiar with. So he's very familiar with... he wrote non-fiction about some of these authors we talked about. Like he's got a bibliography of Charles Beaumont. He's collected them. So he's very much in that world, which is why he's in. So I thought I'd just reference him there. He's done a lot of this. He also went on to write Burnt Offerings, which was the next film that Dan Curtis did. So I thought I'd mention him. And TCG played an absolute blinder, finding something very interesting about one of the producers. I
was going to say, did you mention that while I was away?
No, yes, no, man. I want you to have the credit.
Oh, bless you. So, yeah, this show has links to a little-known show. I'll actually, no. Let me start again. If you made it all the way to the end of this film, to the credits, okay, you may have noticed an associate producer by the name of Robert Singer. For those who might think, oh, hang on a minute, that name sounds familiar. 30 years later, he would become an executive producer on this little unknown show that you may or may not have heard of called Supernatural. And in fact, Robert Singer would have a character named after him in the show, Bobby Singer. And I did have to double check this because I was like, no way. No. And the funny thing is, I'm currently going through the Supernatural series is at the moment, and I've just started on season 5. So when I saw that name, I was like, what? Hold on, what?
He was also a producer on Cujo and the old V television series, miniseries.
Oh man, Bobby Singer. Yeah. Jets. Yeah, Jets.
I'll also, but before we get into the stories, we will talk about them eventually, chat. You're only an hour and 10 in. Come on, hold your horses, chat. We saw Karen Black not too long ago as well, I thought, because she got a little sidetracked into horror. She wasn't super happy about that, Wes Craven style. I think particularly working on Night of the Locusts was not a pleasant experience for her. Disastrous production that she hated. But we saw her recently in House of 1,000 Corpses.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I remember someone was very excited about Karen Black being in it. And yeah, bless it, it's her.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's her as Mama Firefly, who I remember was absolutely brilliant in it. She was a highlight. She was bringing so much energy into it. So, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely, you're under no illusion that is her. Bless her.
She's aged well there.
She's aged very well. Yeah, she's a little bit gorgeous and in a very distinctive way,
Shame GB isn't here. We need his would or wouldn't calculation.
Oh yeah, we need Mr. GB's verdict. Yeah, and she passed away, I think about 10 years ago or so.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
So rest in peace, Karen. Yeah, it was quite nice to think that this sort of turn in Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses sort of really added to her cult appeal on this, which was already pretty much in place.
I was going to say,
as a result of Trilogy.
Yeah, I was going to say, is she, like, other than Terror Trilogy, Trilogy of Terror, and evidently this, was she a bit of a scream queen before that?
Not really. So she was doing dramas for about 4 years before that. She landed that good role in 5 Easy Pieces, which got her the nomination. And I think after that, what often happens is you get something like that, you get a flurry of offers, and you can make a horror film quite cheap, and you want to get in on that. But unfortunately, the horror film she got in on was Night of the Locusts, which was a disastrously overrun, torturous production. She hated it, and she quickly filmed this as a favour, as we're told. And then, as a result of this, she found herself a bit typecast.
Right.
So, I don't know what's going on. I can hear my chickens kicking off massively. I don't know. That's probably not coming through, but I can tell you there is a feathery commotion occurring. All right. Oh yes, Easy Rider. She was in as a, shall we say, a wanton lady under the influence of some interesting chemicals.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, she got herself a bit pigeonholed. Unlike Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't think she really broke out. I think she was appreciated as a cult star, But enough of that. We should probably discuss the actual stories. Story 1, Julie, and I will turn to Mergoot to give us the quick summary. Chat, if you didn't do your homework, we'll give you a quick summary. This shouldn't stop. I don't think this will spoil the film for you. We will give the plot out, but I think you'll enjoy this still if you know everything about it. So, Mergoot, would you like to give us the Guinness summary for Julie?
Certainly. Set at a college, 2 college bros. Chad Rogers, played by, they're discussing it and see Karen Black walking by, Julie. And it's, I wonder what's under her clothes. And she looks at him, and then he gets it into his head that he should take it further. And he eventually seduces her, takes her out on a date, and then drugs and photographs her and blackmails her into further dates. All the while, she's putting suggestions in his head. And she gets him on a final date at her house. And she'd mentioned before that the chemicals he used to do his photography with were dangerous. And she poisons him and covers it up by lighting chemicals in the dark room on fire. And then as a twist, you see her putting a clipping from the newspaper in her scrapbook of other men she's seduced, closes it up when there's a knock on the door, and here's another man coming in to be specially tutored, quote unquote.
Absolutely,
Very succinct, very straightforward story. The twist, first time I saw it, it did catch me off guard, but it's easy enough to remember.
Yeah. TCG, what were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. I mean, I felt like the little twist at the end where it was actually lol no you felt a little bit forced. I mean, it was all right. I mean, it just for me, I couldn't believe for 1 second that those two guys who were ogling her at the beginning were anywhere near the age to be students. You know, it was that stereotypical, like, these people are definitely 16 to 18 years old. That's how we've cast them. But really, they're in their mid-30s.
They were college.
Oh, okay, so 18 to 20 then, shall we say? 18 to 21. But, you know, closer to 40.
It is Dawson's casting. I mean, should we break out the Scary Movie quote again?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, that kind of threw me a little bit throughout the story. But, I mean, I felt like it felt a little bit forced to me. But, I mean, it is what it is. Just essentially, it just broke down to, I've taken your pictures and now I'm going to force you to do stuff with me, or I'm going to release them out into the local newspaper or whatever, you know what I mean? And she's like, no, lol, you.
I think there was a little bit of like, I'll ruin your career because you're not meant to be dating students.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there. I was impressed and surprised at how nasty it was.
It was cruel.
Because she does play that, like, quite inhibited, quite mousy. Someone else said mousy here. Yeah, Chrominian, mousy teacher, absolutely. She plays it on a kind of interesting line, because when she does this in the class, you see quite a lot of thigh. I mean, it's quite a lot. And I wasn't sure, are we just meant to be seeing that through Chad's eyes? Is this absolutely unintentional? How much does she know? So yeah, I found that quite interesting. Like, is that all just his fantasy? It's quite a lot, isn't it? You know. It also threw me off because, and I think Eadwolf has the same idea here. Was it supernatural powers or organic seduction?
Do you know what? I think it was organic. I don't think there was anything supernatural about it. I feel like it's organic because she left more to the imagination. I mean, especially if you look at it these days, you don't really. I mean, nowadays, if you want to know what a bird looks like, you just check out her OnlyFans.
Ooh wee.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like all these celebrities, or all these like popular people nowadays are like, oh yeah, ooh, I'm so shy and reserved, and it's like, yeah, but check out my OnlyFans as well. It's like predictable every time. So I think, yeah, that kind of conservative sort of withheld demeanor, perhaps, I think, does it does pique curiosity. It really does, and I think in many ways it's more attractive. Because I remember, and I'm sure you'll remember this proper horror show. For the Americans here, this might seem a bit alien, but many moons ago, page 3 of The Sun always featured a topless model. Bar one. She I can't remember her name now, but she was all across like the lads mags and things like that. But she'd always have a bra on, right? Never reveal the nips. Okay, she wasn't
Lucy Pinder.
Lucy Pinder, that's the one.
Oh god.
She was forever, teasing her male audience with like, oh no, I'm not showing them. Oh no. Let's getting as scantily clad as possible, but never whipping them out. Until one day she did a dream face reveal. And as soon as she did that, men were like, oh yeah, they just look like every other pair of knockers I've seen in this magazine. and her stock just fell from that moment.
Yeah, I recall Shirley Manson saying something along these lines, like Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage, keeping it. She wouldn't do anything along that line because I think she didn't want to distract from the stock, really.
Yeah, I mean, again, for the record, I'm not knocking it either way. I mean, you do what you need to do, but I'm just saying, like, how she basically capitalised on an audience that essentially were begging to see more, but as soon as they'd seen it, it was like kind of like, oh right, okay, yeah. Now, I mean, it's not going to be as magical the second time or the third time. Do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, she just sort of like fell into the other sort of glamour girls, fell into the sort of like glamour girls crowd.
That rings a bell.
that.
That's a lot of Brit posting.
Yeah.
In this, it's notable that even for the topic, which is I thought like quite upsetting, really, like quite difficult, like this innocent teacher, this mousy, shy teacher, being blackmailed over the material. You don't actually see anything in this story. You see a fair amount more later, but in this specific story, they don't do it. I thought that was quite a nice choice, and I don't think this one's going to be our favourite, but there was a really nice little moment relevant to this when they're discussing the literature. And folks, this is something screenwriters absolutely love to do. That the literature they're discussing is relevant to the actual film. To let you in on a secret, they talked about how one of the authors showed everything, but another one didn't and kept the allure. And that's exactly what they do here. The contrast between Chad, seeing everything and her retaining allure. And I thought it's just a little added value in the script that I appreciated. It made the script a little more clever. I also thought they were leading us on the supernatural question. Actually, we moved past that, but I think there is the implication she's at the very least psychic, because she puts the thought in his head, and I felt we were being baited for her being some kind of vampire because of the film they go and see.
I just thought she was just being manipulating. Like, oh no, we can't date. It's a student-teacher thing. We couldn't possibly do that. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Like, she knows what she was doing. She knows. She knows. Like I just said in the chat, we're a simple creature, really. You don't challenge us to do things because we're gonna play on it.
Mergu, do you think we were being led to suspect vampirism?
Somewhat. I was thinking more vamp than vampire, but until the end, and then it was serious serial killer vibe.
Yeah.
And then it became blatant that she's a serial killer.
Yeah.
She Judy Buenoano.
Oh, yeah, she is, isn't she? Folks, we didn't do a shill section, but if you're interested, Judy Buenoano is a bit of a Black Widow character, and TCG has a video on her. Highly recommended for after this stream if you're interested. By the way, I wasted a fair amount of time trying to find out what this movie was. I'm pretty sure they didn't shoot new footage, but I can't work out what it is. I thought it would be Le Vampire from 1935, but I don't think it is. So if anyone finds out, come to think of it, I could have just stuck around for the credits. Anyway, never mind, more research later. Also, you'll note the name that Chad gives at the motel was Jonathan Harker, the protagonist of Dracula. So again, I felt I was being baited down a vampire line, but we did not go there. I was going to throw out just, this scene is really nicely shot. So we should probably give credit to Paul Fritz Luhrmann, who did the cinematography of this. He also worked on Robert Altman's Nashville, Mommy Dearest, and a sci-fi called Time After Time, with David Warner in it. So I thought, give a little credit to that there to Paul Luhrmann. I really like this shot. I think it looks very nice.
I just looked up what the drive-in movie is.
Oh, do we have it?
Yeah, it's showing the film The Night Stalker. It's an in-joke reference to Dan Curtis's TV film The Night Stalker.
There we go. Oh, because they said it was a French vampire movie. I was looking through French vampire movies. Terrible. All right. Okay, lovely. You gotta love an in-joke. Just like Halloween turning up in Halloween 3. Oh dear. All right. In terms of, I mean, I think it's a fine story. I think the threat to her is quite good. I can't see you picked up on it, but the implication that he was pimping her out.
Hey?
It's dark stuff, you know. When he passes her the note in class,
right,
that causes her to shut down, like he's enjoying dominating her, and he says, "I've got some friends for you to meet." We're low on details, but what we get has some pretty nasty implications to it. So, yeah, I was impressed.
I mean, dude, like at that moment, wouldn't you just be like, do you know what? I'm taking this to the faculty. Oh, and by the way, he's got pictures of me like in several states of undress against my will because I was drugged by the guy. And by the way, it's a bit. No, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Yeah.
Family friendly.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you would hope she would, but she was. I think Karen Black sold it really well. It's just like how vulnerable she was. I mean, I'm with you on that one. She probably could. Where I have a problem with this is just after that scene where her roommate basically says what's going on, and we sort of see her at her lowest. It's just the very next scene. She just kind of announces the turnaround. She has a villain reveal, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Do you think that's
what I'm
fair
saying?
to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, that's why I feel it was forced. I feel like, you know, I think this is a problem with anthologies in particular, because where you're trying to like cram, you know, 3 stories out so quickly, you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, we've written it up to this point, but cripes, we've only got about 3 minutes left of screen time left to do. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, she was in control of the whole situation all the time. She was always in control. She knew exactly what she was doing. In fact, she's a serial killer. Yes, she's a serial killer, and she's and Chad is her next victim. Yes. It's like, okay, could have eased us into that a bit better, but you do you.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that exact same thing, and as you say, yeah, that limitation on anthology stories to be concise is so true. We see it in all of them. I think that there is an art to that storytelling, but they're confined by that time constraint. But I feel like they could do the exact same thing. Like, they don't really need the roommate because nothing really happened there, but you could do the same thing where she has a transformation in scene. Like, maybe he's about to, he's really dominating her. He's really being awful, and he tries to escalate. And then if she's like crying at her most vulnerable, if she were then to do a kind of in-scene transformation where she turned the table, but it's like we missed that scene. We just went from weak. I forget her name. What is it in this segment? It's Julie. Thank you. Oh, Julie Eldrecht. I forgot. Interesting surname. For all you Lovecraft appreciators.
I think it would have been better if she had just like snapped, murdered him, and then became this like almost like he was the first victim. The experience that she had with him was the one that turns her against men, and now she dedicates the rest of her life to seducing men with her own sort of withdrawn personality, lures them in, and then does these sorts of things. Because you could literally end, because the way it ends is fine, because we know at that point she's a serial killer. So it would say a lot for her to essentially overcome this abusive. I wouldn't call it a relationship, but this abusive situation. But the switch has gone in her mind now. Like, she is the bad guy, and then the next guy who comes along, is a nice guy, but she doesn't see that now. She just sees a victim. That for me would have worked better than just, you thought you were in control, but it was me all along. I knew you drugged me. I knew what you did. But actually, did you know you played right into my hands? Ha 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 ha. Now die. Lame.
It's a weak switch there. I think everyone is I think everyone seems to be on board with that. At the very least, there's a scene missing, and I would have preferred the way you did it too. There's many ways we could have played that out without it just seeming like someone flipped a switch. Mergu, any thoughts on that one?
You stole my thunder.
Just repeat what I said, mate, but you'll make it sound more elegant. I know you will.
Me elegant.
Me elegant.
Alrighty. I mean, I think this one's pretty simple. There are some nice touches we've highlighted there, but it's quite basic. The second one, where you have not one Karen Black but two Karen Blacks. Oof. I have some deep thoughts on this one, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a while. I want you guys to lead on this because I've got some schizo posting to do.
Okay.
Millicent and Therese. So over to you, TCG.
Oh God, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I kind of tuned out of this one a little bit. However, from what I can gather, there's a woman who lives with her sister, apparently, and she's seeing a psychiatrist, and she's having like little chats and stuff. But this is Millicent, by the way. Her sister Therese, though, is a little bit of a troublemaker, likes to get up to little bits of mischief, and is just a general pain in the backside. A bit of an arse of a neighbour, trolling the neighbour's kids, and just being a general dick. But this perhaps for me was the most obvious twist. Yeah, exactly, Prepper. I mean, exactly. This was I don't really know what to say. I mean, as soon as I saw, because it took me a while to realise that it was actually the same person, Karen Black. I was a bit like, are they the same person? Like, like from the first story, not the same person on screen,
right.
like in that story, but just like, is this the same actress? And then when I realised it was, I was like, oh, okay, that's impressive. But she's still the same person. She's obviously got some sort of split personality disorder or whatnot. Is that Boris Johnson? He looks young there.
Oh,
You have to remember the multiple. Excuse me.
I mean, we were only dealing with two personalities, Murgut. James McAvoy would, of course, later come out as a character who had 23 personalities. Hollywood was pushing the boundaries by then. But
you're watching this through a lens of 50 years where this trope has been overdone to death.
Yeah, but it just felt very obvious for me, and I won't lie, I kind of switched off at that point. I think, that's right. She gets a voodoo doll. And it's like, right, okay, yes. I'm gonna get rid of my sister. I'm gonna end my sister. And she pokes the voodoo doll, and the psychiatrist comes round a bit later on, and he finds, dun dun dun, Millicent on the floor dead, and not Therese. What on earth? But Therese isn't anywhere to be seen. Why do you ask? Well, sorry, Therese is dead. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Therese is dead, but Millicent's nowhere to be seen. And then, why, I hear you ask? Well, just before she's taken out on the old gurney, or whatever it is, he goes, this was Millicent Therese, what's her face? She had the most acute case of double person syndrome, whatever he said it was, I've ever seen. And then he pulls off her wig, and it's like, oh my God, it's actually the same person. I did not know that.
Maverick got there as well, I think. Yeah, I
just tuned out of this one.
I think we were all there with you.
The third one, man, woke me up.
All right. Well, chat, did you have this guessed within about 2 minutes? Yeah, I'm afraid so. I don't know what it was, but all the setup, it got me thinking of it. I mean, Murgut, it's probably unfair to ask because you'd seen this ages ago, but do you think it's as obvious as we seem to find it?
About as subtle as a jackhammer.
Yeah.
It's, even at the time I saw it, which is probably 10 years after it came out, it was still, it was pretty blatant because multiple personalities was all, that trope was all the rage in the mid-80s.
Sorry, Pro Minion, like Wallace and Gromit, where he pulls the glove off the penguin's head.
What a callback. Pro Minion. Yes. Callback of the night.
Oh,
the Lucy Pinder reference was good. Nice. Yeah. I mean, okay, so I feel there is some hidden depth to this story, some subtlety, honestly.
Okay.
I'll try. Like, John's in there noticing some interesting thing about the books. Right, so I have a theory here. Right. Given what we know, there's some interesting symbolism here. We're going to start with some interesting symbolism that's been woven in here. So do you remember when she goes outside and the kid's been bullied?
Vaguely, yeah.
All right.
Isn't that the straw that breaks the camel's back with her?
Yes, it is. It's something about seeing a very upset child really sets Millicent off. Or the good, whichever the bookish one is.
Yeah, Millicent's
now, look at what's happened, what the damage is. It's a baby doll, right? It's a young, doll of a young child, and the head's damaged. Right?
Oh, okay,
right?
Okay.
Damage to the head, yeah. All right. The kid's looking upset, and it's the sight of the kid that really sets Millicent off, right? Now, why might that be interesting to her? Well, the stuff that Millicent starts complaining about, her evidence that Therese is evil, is all, that's fed in right from the very start. You remember, she's sorry, I can't speak. She's showing this weird blend of Boris Johnson, Michael Fabricant, and Trump here, a photo, right? Michael Fabre-Trump. She's showing him this, and what's she telling him? If you don't remember, it's fine.
I can't remember.
Right. She's talking about how Therese had killed off their mum and then killed off their dad. But she's showing the photo and saying, like, look at how she's seducing dad. Look at how she's holding herself against him, right? We open with Millicent looking at old family footage and being upset about that too. I'll just get a quick image of that. It's this family footage here that she's very upset about. The mum's in the background there. And she's complaining about that. She's basically painting Therese as this, well, basically Lolita figure, this child harlot, right?
Right.
And Therese, when we see her, is a sort of dangerous harlot-like character.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying here is it's childhood trauma that has caused the split personality. And Millicent seems to believe that the source of trauma is Therese basically seducing her dad.
But the reality is it's the other way round.
Yeah, the dad...
Less seduction.
Yeah.
Not the word, but yeah.
Exactly. I think what we're being fed is enough details to see that, or get the implication that the father abused her and this caused a split personality. One who, to avoid the trauma, is like, this didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my dad's fault at all. He's actually a really good guy. It's Therese who's at fault, and she's an evil succubus, and she's into all this weird stuff, and she's just evil. And Therese on the other side has to sort of live up to this. It's Therese who gets to have that sort of revenge fantasy. But we just got that little symbolism thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I wish they. Yeah, you see, it's a shame because that sound. I mean, that is absolutely plausible. I can totally see that.
Yeah,
it's hard to, it's very hard to disagree with that. It's just a shame that they sandwiched it in with such a. I'm sorry, a bit of a poor story, really. But I mean, yeah, I mean that certainly fits.
It's one of those cases where the tiny details are really good, and the rest of it's like someone has made you A++ S tier gherkins on a crappy bun.
Yeah, yeah.
The basics aren't right. All the details are wonderful. It's all garnish, but no main course, right? Dr. Prepper, yes, very much. That's why given that reading, that's why I think her seeing Therese taking out on a kid is what sets her off. You know, she wants to be protective of the children. But yeah, it's I mean, I'm finding those nice details. There's another nice detail as well. Just a subtle one. The fact that they went with voodoo as the cause of death, I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's leading you into the final story. Because the first one was pretty normal. There's a hint of supernatural, but it's basically a normal story. This one with the voodoo, it's just bringing in that supernatural element a little bit more, prepping you for the third story.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
But that's all I've got on this, really. Any other thoughts on it, Mergu? On my tinfoil, maybe?
Karen Black, ooh woo.
It's quite the angle, isn't it? It's
angle of them Bojangles.
It's the fembot. Yeah, it's some fembot energy from Austin Powers.
Yes.
All right. They filmed from this angle. I this was the only one I had for the nice voodoo doll. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to rush it. You see the twist coming a mile off, and yeah, I don't know, man. I hope the extra depth was appreciated.
Well, I appreciate it now, definitely.
Yeah.
But
In
yeah,
its
again, it's
defense-
not enough to. It's not enough to raise points because I feel like if they could have made it maybe a little bit more clear, maybe through conversation with the psychiatrist could have explained as part of that little reveal, like it's the most acute case of this, unsurprising given that she was abused by her father, and then it would make a lot more sense. Oh, okay, so that's why she blamed him.
in
Okay.
its
It doesn't really
defense, we have
clarify.
50 years of this trope being overplayed. So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about using a voodoo doll to sort of set up another story, I mean, it's not the first time I've seen it. I mean, the Mortal Kombat reboot that came out in 2021, for me, I'm sorry, is just one big advert to say, look, this is why there should be a sequel.
It's a tried and tested technique. I haven't actually seen that one.
It's all right, but again, it's it does feel like one massive advert for a sequel, because I mean the Mortal Kombat tournament doesn't even take place in that movie, which makes it automatically not as good as Mortal Kombat 95.
That feels like a bit of a rip-off, to be honest.
Because the whole because you know why? Because the sequel is where it takes place. The sequel is where the Mortal Kombat tournament takes place.
I'm glad I
The first one was just the first one was just a 2-hour build-up of this character, this is that character, this is an original character, this is this character. Okay, let's have them fight a bit. Oh right, okay, fantastic. Now we're gonna do a Mortal Kombat tournament in the sequel.
Is it getting a sequel?
I don't think so. I don't know, actually. It might be, but I mean, what was it? It's been nearly 3 years now. Maybe they didn't ask hard enough. I don't know.
All right. Well, I think that's probably everything.
I suppose that's the difference though between Mortal Kombat and this, because this immediately followed into another one with a
This
weird,
was all
creepy
payoff.
voodoo doll. Yeah.
This was all payoff. All right, well, let's move into this is one everyone wanted. And this is one everyone remembers. I think it's fair to say you don't get the cult status without the absolute mad energy of Amelia. Based on the story Prey by Richard Matheson, and this is the one he adapted himself. Waifu, I might show you just this segment because it's quite wonderful.
have at it, proper. It's all yours.
Do you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Amelia is a nervous, and I would say a nervous but otherwise successful woman working in a nice city and living in a nice apartment. She's she's hesitant about getting involved with relationships, and she's got a difficult relationship with her mother, which she spends about 4 to 5 minutes of just pure exposition over the phone, detailing. It sort of feels like something you would do to fill up a story that's quite light. Before everything kicks off, she has bought a Zuni fetish doll for her prospective boyfriend. And before YouTube gets very upset about me, I'm meaning fetish in the sense of a Freudian one. It is an object of worship. And this wonderful little thing, which is meant to have the spirit of a warrior on it, is going to be fascinating to her boyfriend, as long as, the gold chain that keeps its warrior spirit within stays on and doesn't, fall off the second she stops looking at it. It's got a nice scroll with it as well, which contains more exposition. But after your sort of 9 minutes of exposition, and the chain comes off, everything goes absolutely banana, and it's just relentless Zuni doll chugging Monster Zeros and going for her. Just rushing for her like he knows he's got 3 minutes left in the film and needs to get that victory condition. The Zuni doll goes for her. It goes 140 miles an hour. It's relentless. It's screaming. It's absolutely manic glory, and I adore it.
I love the knife scene under the door. Just
I think I was saying before, it might have been at the very start of this, just today, I think they would struggle to do it without irony. And this is done with no irony whatsoever. They just go for it. And it's kind of glorious because this is just a puppet that they're wiggling around, but they wiggle it really fast and they just go for it. It's about 15 minutes of her just running around with her feet being chased by this thing that screams endlessly. You got lots of shots like this of it just going mad. I love it. It's absolute chaos. Did I capture it? She slams it in a suitcase to get a brief break, and then it just starts cutting its way out.
Yeah.
pops its head out of the suitcase and looks around.
It's my favorite bit. It's my favorite bit by a long way.
I genuinely thought at that point she was going to get another suitcase and stick it in that one, and then it was going to start cutting through that one as well, because it did look like there was a bigger red one in the room where she got the where she got that other suitcase.
Yeah. Oh, I thought she was going to try and chuck it out the window, and she couldn't get the window open, right? Yeah. She ends up sticking it in the oven and setting fire to it. And then she thinks, oh, yeah, that's done the job. Lets it out. It comes out burning and angrier, shrieking. It's perfect. I mean, this little section is such a presaging of, like, Child's Play. There's no way Child's Play didn't directly take off. And when I say take off, I mean take inspiration from. See this and think, how can we do it? You recall that the first time Chucky comes alive is just after he's looked for under the sofa. Just as we get with the Zuni doll here. Yeah, there's no way they didn't know.
Spear is sharp.
Yes. It's brilliant. Guys, I've talked for ages. What are your thoughts on the wonderful Zuni doll?
Do you know what, right? I couldn't think when this was all going on. It was just such carnage. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything remotely close to what I'd witnessed. It was just I don't even know how much time had passed. It was just non-stop. Like one thing after another. And I was totally there for. Wow. But I was.
Well, you see, the Henry, most of the other killings were poisonings, obviously. So
there you go. Yeah, I was totally there for it. Totally there for it. Yeah, it looked like they just went, "Go and have some fun." Okay.
Zany mayhem.
Yeah, a good description. Do you also think we're getting more? I mean, this is just an Evil Dead shot, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, blatantly, big time. I'm assuming Evil Dead came out first. Was it 72?
So this is 75. Evil Dead is 9, is it?
Oh, okay. So
no,
Evil Dead
later. No, it's got to be later. Hang on, let me do a quick check. I never remember this. It is 1981.
1981. Yeah, there we go. So actually, the Evil Dead copied this.
Oh, definitely.
There you go.
I mean, it's not going to be the first one to do a shot like this, but is it the first one to do a shot like this at 200 miles per hour while shrieking?
yeah.
Oh,
Very true.
It's such a great design as well. It's
You gotta love
just
the
so memorable.
shots from the front of the doll chasing her, just the puppet moving back and forth. I mean,
I'm gonna try and get a better close up of it.
There you go. Enrieb's absolutely right. The action in the Zuni doll story does show just how much can be achieved by good cinematography and acting. Which, yeah, I was completely sold on it. totally sold. While you might look at it and think, oh yeah, this looks ridiculous, it's kind of like, yeah, but it actually looks realistically ridiculous. You know, like, you know, you're looking at a puppet. Like that there's no, like, you know how you get some, I'm trying to think now, but like you'll have like some, I don't know, doll or something come to life, and it will move in ways that it's not, that the original doll wasn't constructed to do so. But every movement in this doll just seemed consistent with, you know, its actual design. Like, you know, he wasn't like pursing his lips or anything like that, or like, you know, it was just the stabbing motion. You know, there wasn't any sort of like Jerry Anderson moments where, you know, you'd pan from a puppet to like a hand doing real life movements. It was strikingly and stunningly consistent, and I loved it.
Oh, my question is did the creators of Critters, the mid-'80s sci-fi horror, did they take the face of the Zuni doll for the face of the Critters?
There is a vibe there, isn't there?
There could be some, I think it could be some inspiration. I mean, possibly we're seeing something that was a lot more influential than we expected.
I really feel like watching Predator now. I don't know why.
Yeah. Just hypothetically, how do you think the Zuni doll would have felt if it hadn't been able to kill that evening? Just something to ponder.
Very, I don't know.
Very upset with itself.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, really. It's not that deep. It's just incredibly effective. They just, TCG, like you said, they know what they're working with and they know how to get the best out of it. They don't do awkward hand inserts. They didn't do the shot where, you know, it was being pulled along by string and you saw the legs.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what they could do, and they went for it. And it's just, it's great.
Yeah.
The end shot with Karen Black crouching, just pounding the knife into the floor, waiting for her mom to show up.
Oh,
well,
dude.
yeah, that is the capper. It is the capper. We need the nasty ending. And yeah, this is after she stabbed it, she's burned it, she put it in a suitcase, didn't work, and it wins. And then
that look in her eyes.
It's such a patient reveal as well. Like, they take a long time to zoom into her for her to then show off. And
I mean, when she's got her mouth closed, I mean, it looks, you can tell something don't look right, but it's, I was kind of like, hang on a minute. Like, I knew she'd obviously been possessed, but yeah, when she started to smile, I was like, oh, hold on, because it's a very slow, like you said, it's a slow reveal. And then the old Nash has come out, and I'm thinking, okay, very good. Bit of metamorphosis. Love it.
It's a lovely, simple effect, and it works. Gosh darn it.
Yeah. I mean, and like Mergu said, I mean, look at her eyes, man. I mean, just it's so subtle, you know. What they've done, messed up her hair a little bit, given her, I don't know, I'm not going to say eyeshadow, but they've definitely darkened her eyes around there. Maybe put a little bit more emphasis on the eyebrows, and obviously the teeth. But my God, I thought it was quite impressive how different she looked in every story.
She throws herself into it. I mean, she's a cult figure and she's got a lot of talent. I'd also throw in something I really like is she really isn't trying. There's no like vanity in it. She's absolutely thrown herself into every single one of these stories. And like, she'll happily make herself like look savage and unattractive here to get that creepy shot at the end. It's wonderful.
And obviously those like fake teeth as well would help, not just appearance wise, but in terms of like facial structure. It's gonna have it's gonna warp the face ever so slightly as well to give it a more unnatural. I mean, you can see the way that the cheeks are lifting up. Yeah, man, I loved it. I loved this one. This was so fun. The other two can just bore off, man. They should have just added extra minutes of her Tom and Jerrying around the house. It was the apartment was brilliant.
Yeah,
they didn't need to make it a trilogy. Seriously.
I don't know. I just know there'd be the temptation. Someone would want to make this and like have to give, Terrifier style of like the mailman calls. Oh, are you in, Miss Roberts? I've got a package for you. And then the Zuni just needs like a parade of people to kill. This is a simple story. It's stripped down. And it's great for what it is. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think you can ask for much more in a short little story. This is the beauty of it, right? It was so simple, and yet it worked better than any of the other two. And they tried to be, smart and throw a little. I mean, again, like you didn't need to. I wouldn't even say this was really a twist because it was evident that it was evident what happened, obvious. It didn't try any subtle messaging or anything like that. It was very, this is what I've got planned for tonight. No, Mum, I'm not coming over. Stop being a moody Mardy, Mum. Yeah, I've got this doll. It needs its gold chain on to keep its soul in or whatever. Oh no, the thing falls off. You know that it's not going to be. She's not just be waiting around quietly for her boyfriend to turn up.
Yeah.
Just the performance of her crouching down and just makes the whole movie.
Totally. There's a nice little thing as well, as much as I ragged on like the endless exposition, like the tediously long convo with her mum, there's a little thing here, like in a way, what she's missing, she was too timid. And you saw her just getting browbeaten by the guy, getting browbeaten by her mum. In the end, after the Zuni doll, she's got that warrior spirit. Remember, it's a warrior spirit in the Zuni doll that makes it come alive.
Yeah.
And it's a warrior spirit that's going to help her stand up to her mum. In a way. That little extra dimension in there that I think would probably be emphasized a lot more in the story.
Yeah, but I don't want it to sound more. I don't want it to sound more complex and smart. I like little doll runs around with knife going re while woman runs panicking going screech screech screech. It's like a little ankle biter, mate. I loved it.
Yeah, the simplicity is what makes it work.
Yeah, John's absolutely right, though. The third one works so well because you're so unprepped for it by the other two. If you could see my face when I was watching this, right, I literally... I was sort of watching it and I was like, oh, okay, because, the telephone conversation was droning on a bit and I'm a bit like, okay, I see the doll come out, my eyes sort of like go, oh, okay, like... All right, that's quite interesting. She mentions about the chain, like the chain falls off. Like they've got to keep it all in together so that the spirit stays like contained within the doll. I was like, okay, that's going to fall off, obviously. And then it does, and I'm like, okay. And I was expecting it to be a bit more like, oh, doll's not there, which it wasn't. But excuse me, the search, like the search for the doll to be a bit more suspenseful. And the fact that it's just like, straight away. And it's like, oh my God, okay. Well, I was like, what? And then it's like yammering away. And it looks like it's drunk about 33 monsters. It literally looks like a Twitch streamer who's done a 24-hour live stream. I mean, making exactly the same sounds. I mean, this is literally Hassan Piker after
The
a charity
nuggies haven't
stream.
been supplied.
When the nuggies haven't been supplied. Yes, when the nuggies haven't been supplied. Mum, where's my nuggies? Don't you know I need the nuggies inside me to keep my soul contained?
He's finally ready to take on Sam Hyde. It's that.
Yeah,
It's gonna
exactly.
happen, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marine is right here, of course. Yes, it is possessing her. It is happening. She's getting that fucking spirit. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
A little
great.
maniac chihuahua. Yes, Marie.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great description. Where is it? Great.
Where are the tribal Zuni doll VTubers?
You get banned, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Going with that as your YouTuber.
Yeah. I don't know. I think V could pull it off.
All right.
Trilogy
I
of
see what you mean.
Tendies.
Oh, is this chat of the night? This could be chat of the night.
Tendies of Terror. Oh,
Oh man,
Nightmare Nuggies.
absolutely great stuff. Yeah, it is all made by this ending. You're gonna see when we do Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, which admittedly will not be for a while, folks. I want you to think back to this because there is a story there which is like, it's kind of the drawn out version of this, where all these little things to try and get a longer story, fill it out a little bit, you know, add an extra victim, making it more complicated than it needs to be. You will see that in Tales from the Dark Side of the movie, and you have a little think about which you prefer. I mean, they're very different. I'm not saying one's bad, but it's interesting to see like the raw, stripped back version versus a sort of big brain screenwriter version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't mind convoluted stories. Obviously, I don't mind them at all. I don't mind little complex stories and whatnot. My only issue is where you have sort of formats like this where you have such little time to be able to succinctly implement something like that. You know, I think, like I say, the first story for me personally could have easily been a victim overcomes the abuse, but as I say, in that process, switches to the point where that abuser becomes the abused becomes the abuser. And again, you don't need to see anything afterwards. It just needs to be implied, you know, exactly the same way as it did in that first story. Yeah, if it's done right, then it's fine. But yeah, if it's not, then it can be it can be somewhat jarring in my view.
I think it's fair. Yeah. I saw this idea. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted. Oh, guys, if you knew the editing backlog. Oh dear. But that is a good idea. Yeah, I think we really have found something very influential here. That deserves more credit. But I mean, that is probably about all of it. Shall we? I think we might want to move into the older closing thoughts and scores.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Which means also chat. If you want to get yourselves ready, start sending those scores in. I know it's going to take a little while because of the what's it called? The
36-minute delay.
Ah, yeah.
Latency.
Latency. That's the one. That's the one. Okay. You start getting those scores in chat. I will be very interested in what you say. The NREAB, yes, they did make a sequel in 1996. There's also a second kind of sequel called Dead of Night, which was released 2 years after this. And those are another lot of adaptations of Richard Matheson stories. And I was tempted to do that just because of the title, but I decided not to. So Joe, we all want the doll. We all love the Zuni doll. Okay, we'll get into closing thoughts and scores now. So, TCG, would you like to go first?
Yeah, this for me was very much carried by the third story. I think if it was the third story alone, we'd be easily looking at a 10 out of 12 without doubt. With slashes of ketchup, with gorgeous amounts of cheese, and with the most succulent burger that you can imagine. My only problem is that it's preceded by 2 episodes which, quite frankly, I feel are a bit dead weight. You got the first one, which I'd probably say was a solid 6. It was middle of the road. It was a wimpy burger. You know, it's all right. It hits the spot, but you could be doing better. The second story for me, I wasn't really interested at the time of watching it. I kind of lost, because as soon as I figured out, like, and again it was right at the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, split personality. As soon as I knew it, I was a bit like, okay, I'm just waiting for the reveal now. And so I missed that really succinct sort of analysis that excuse me that you made. But I would probably say that it's that one on its own would have been about 4 out of 12. Burger's gone off a little bit. You know, it's the same old flavour. They've tried to put a secret sauce in, but you know what it is. It's just ketchup. You know, but they put some blue like food colouring in. I mean, overall, I would probably give it, and again, I'd probably give it an 8 overall, purely because the last story absolutely makes you forget about the first 2, and it does so much heavy lifting, and yeah, it's so simple.
That is very fair, to be honest. That's very fair.
If I was to recommend this, I would say, look, you know, you can afford to miss the first 2. Maybe not the first one. You can watch that. Second one you can skip, but you got to stick around for the third one.
Yeah, that is fair. I mean, I can't disagree with that. And you've got the bonus that this is the last one, so you go out on a high.
Yeah, it's better that this is the last one. Absolutely, 100%. Imagine if this. I feel like it would be different if it was the first one. They started strong and then they just lose you part way through.
Yeah,
the audience retention rate graph would not look so pretty.
Oh no, it'd be brutal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be absolutely brutal. Chat seems pretty on board. How about yourself, Mergoot?
I'd rate it a solid 7. The first story I'd give a 5 or 6. I mean, it followed the trope of the serial killer woman. The second one, I'd give it a 3, just because TCG may have fallen asleep. Me, I watched it through and it was dull. I mean, it was really dull. The fourth one I give a solid, or the third one I give a solid 10. Just the manic energy, the crazy doll is just so iconic and it's so hilarious. But yeah, solid 7 burgers with a little bit of ketchup and whole heaping load of cheese for the end one.
I haven't said this for a long time, Horror Show, but when it comes to story 3, we need to see the Snyder Cut. Release the
I'll go
Snyder
for
Cut.
Improve the score massively. Just show story 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do it. Very naughty, Joe.
Oh.
I mean, but we're getting pretty consistent scores here. I like chat's on board with this. I think we're seeing that. Yeah,
Of course they are. They know we're right.
good
That's why they
chat.
come here, because they've got
you are-
great opinions.
You have chat. We appreciate you, chat. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you guys either. I dug for some extra stuff in number 2 for, that was badly phrased. I dug for some extra meaning in the second story because I was bored and I saw where it was going. I mean, good performances. No, there aren't any bad performances in this.
No,
and
yeah. That's sorry to interrupt. That's one thing I would definitely give credit for. Karen Black was brilliant in this little TV thing, little TV movie. Very, 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 very good. I was very impressed. In particular, I say just how different she looked in each story. Like it was. Like she was. I know it sounds silly because obviously she is acting different people, but she really, like, appearance-wise, portrayed different characters as well. It's not like, again, I felt like going into the second one, I had to triple take, like, is that the same person? Because I was like, wow, she looks really different. And then again in the third one, I was like, that's the same person. Wow.
yeah, totally different demeanor. I need to watch 5 Easy Pieces. I want to see what got her the Academy Award nomination. Yeah, it's so great performances throughout, decent cinematography throughout. 1 and 2, I feel like I would have them longer. I think you can build them out a bit, but also you can rescue 1 and 2 with some small changes. Obviously, bigger changes for 2, but. Yeah, you're not going to be surprised. It's all about 3 for me. This would be an amazing film in the middle of a Halloween triple bill, because in that middle story, you could just that's the toilet break and top up the drinks and like see if there's any more pizza around.
Yeah.
And then someone just calls you like, hey, third story starting. So you'd all rush back shrieking.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it. That's how it would fit. I'd go with that. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'd add double bacon on the third one just as well.
Oh yeah.
That's how I'd do it. Double bacon. All right. So where do I land on this? Overall, I think people breaking it down by story is very sensible. Alabaster's got a very fair split there, I've got to say. I'd probably be a little warmer. I'd say Julie is more of a 6 out of 12 for me because they were willing to push it into slightly more uncomfortable territory. Millicent and Therese, I'd happily keep at a 4. Amelia is 10. Yeah. There's no deep theme, but it's just brilliantly well done and it's great fun and it doesn't waste your time and it does it all in 72 minutes. So I actually... Oh, Slim's come through with a 9. Thank you, Slim. Yeah, very fair.
What would you rank it overall? Yeah, I'll go. Sorry.
I lean to about an 8.5 overall, but I would always say you can just watch the third section. I think 8.5 is a bit fair.
I was say, speaking of Predator, Joe in the chat has mentioned that they've a very similar line in this film to the Predator movies. I didn't spot that. I just looked at the hair and the eyebrows. It's almost like Klingon-esque, isn't it? But
yeah, old school. Well, TNG Klingons, not
TNG,
not original Klingons.
No. Did Star Trek: The Next Generation get inspiration from this film?
They all did. They all took
did.
it from Trilogy of Terror. It's Zuni's all the way down. Really. Well, folks, those are scores. I think very fair. Whilst we're all acknowledging it's a heavily skewed distribution. It's a bimodal distribution in the scores there for the stories, but I think that's very fair. And chat, all on board. thank you so much for recommending this chat, for voting for it last week. I thought you'd skip straight to Creepshow. I'm so glad we didn't. I had a hoot with this. And I think I'm a bit of a Karen Black fan now. I'm won over.
I think, yeah. I think I'm going to have to go on a little Vincent Price-esque deep dive into her career.
Let's go for it. All right. Well, that is pretty much everything. Obviously, at this stage, we've done our closing thoughts and scores. You are needing your horror homework for next week. And I would go straight to Creepshow. But around the same time, the 80s reboot of The Twilight Zone kicks in. And it just so happens that the very first bunch of episodes was directed by one Wes Craven. I know. So that is jumping to priority. I am going to make sure that this is findable online. If it is not findable online, on a legitimate source that you can pay legal tender for, obviously. If it's a bit hard to get your hands on, I might bump us to Creepshow, but I'll do my best and I will let you know in an update this weekend. But that is a horror homework provisionally, is track down the 1980 reboot of The Twilight Zone and watch the episodes directed by Wes Craven. He did 3 of them and they're the first lot. But I will confirm it in a post for whether we're doing that or Creepshow. Yes, exciting. I think that's pretty much everything, folks. Now, we didn't do a shill at the start, so I think we'll close off with our shilling. I was just too excited to play the games. So, Mergu, is there anything you've... I know you don't make the content, but is there anything you'd like people to look at?
My Twitter, @Mergoot. I've been kind of slacking off there. I've been too busy to do much, but I do post periodically right now.
Excellent. There you go. @Mergoot. Oh, no, wait. Do you have it different for Twitter? No, it's @Mergoot, isn't it?
Elder
Yes,
Squatch,
ma'am.
isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, lovely. And TCG, how about yourself?
So work has pressed ahead now with the collaboration that myself and Proper Horror Show are actually doing. But I do have an announcement, a very quick one, for members of the channel. If you're not a member, you can sign up for as little as $1.99 and you get access to early audio releases of videos that I am preparing. And as Alabastard has rightly pointed out, I have released the audio to the Leopold and Loeb story, which is available now for members to view. But the full release will be going out at the same time as Proper Horror Show here, and I will be discussing the 1948 Alfred Hitchcock movie Rope. It's part of Horror Show's Real versus Real series, and I promise you that chat is one I am very much looking forward to.
Absolutely. Likewise, the movie is very different to the real life, so it's a brilliant chance for having the comparison, and also Rope is just wonderful. So yeah, really looking forward to that. There was another request there, TCG. The Judy Buenoano.
Let me
video.
find that.
We'll get a link dropped in because that is a really good one. And while you're finding that, TCG, while you drop that in the chat, I'll do my own shilling. I also dropped a video for members, thanks to the NREAB's generosity. I know a bunch of you are now members, so you'll be able to see it. That was my thoughts on the Midnight Club. I just gave 4 reasons why you really need to skip it. I've got a feeling that when I've cleared some of the bigger projects I'm working on, I might go back and do like a 3-hour scorched earth desecration of that series that was a terrible bit of wasted potential. But for now, I produced a short 4-point summary on why it's really not worth your time. That went out to members. otherwise, that would be the main thing I'm shilling. So I think I'll probably just leave it there. Check out the Cozy Reading series if you fancy hearing a wonderful voice reading out some classic short stories. If you like a bit of variety, they're very nice in the evening. But otherwise, I think I'm going to leave it there. We've discussed Trilogy of Terror. We've played some games, and we have given the horror homework. So I think it's been a good stream. I'm going to leave it there. Massive thanks TCG and Mergoot.
And thank you for having me back.
Pleasure as always, and we have to do the Wheel of Fortune game again. I love that.
More Wheel of Fortune. We're going to do
Yes.
it. All right. And I'll work out how to make it work with chat. You're going to have to be rapid fire chat. I'll turn the latency down. And thanks to you, chat, as well. You've cracked me up a fair few times in this one. It's lovely to see your thoughts on this one. I believe that is everything. So I'm going to wish you a good night. I'm going to wish you a wonderful weekend. I'm going to sign off as I tend to do with thanks, y'all. Cheers. And thanks to everyone on the rewatch.
Sub to my channel, watch my stuff, subscribe, be a member, do the same for Horrorshow.
Nailed it.
#Shield Gang.
#Shield Gang. Night, y'all.